As far as funding goes, if there were a couple of things that I could sit down with you and help you understand about funding, probably the first thing would be is as quick as possible get to a point where you understand what your total project budget is. And by that I mean everything from soup to nuts that's going to cost to build, furnish, and make this building sound good. The reason that's important is so many times we go into churches where they've begun to dream out loud with an architect and get those dreams translated into drawings, only to find out later that they can't afford the dream. And so then they have to go and scale back. And if you remove $300,000 or $400,000 or $500,000 or $1 million from a $4 or $5 million project, you wind up with a completely different deliverable. So it's really important to understand right up front just how much you can afford, and then create that healthy tension between affordability and the dream. The second thing is margin is the name of the game when it comes to borrowing money. And by that I mean you can be a church that has $1 million annual income, and if you have $1 million going out, it's going to be very difficult to get funding. So it pays up front to know what your margin is and some ways to increase that margin as you're beginning to ramp up to building. And the last thing I would say is just further on that point, organize yourself in a way to maximize your fundability, because one thing that I'll promise you, there is more vision than there is the ability to fund it. That's true with every fast-growing church that has a vision. So you have to understand you're not going to get everything that you want. So you have to be able to go out and prepare yourself from a financial standpoint to say, hey, we're going to make construction, we're going to make finding a place for ministry to happen, we're going to make that a priority that's right up there at the top of the list of things that are priorities for the church, so that we can go out and get the maximum funding to be able to build the facilities that we need to really be able to impact our community.